A country is never small when it's open to the sea, said the second king of the Belgians, Leopold II. For more than a century, the Earth's South Pole has had an irresistible attraction for Belgium. It all begins 115 years ago in 1897. A visionary, Adrien de Gerlache, and his crew are the first to spend an entire winter on the icy wastes of the White Continent. On board the Belgica, there was an international crew. Dr. Frederick Cook comes from New York and is the photographer and surgeon. Belgian Georges Lecointe is the navigator and astronomer. Arctowski, the geologist and meteorologist, is Polish, as is Dobrowolski, the lab assistant. Romanian Rakovica is the zoologist and botanist. Also on board is a Norwegian, a certain Amundsen. It's he who first reaches the South Pole in 1911, and his name goes down in history. 60 years later, Belgium was back in the Antarctic. On the occasion of the International Geophysical Year of 1957-58, whose General Secretary was the Belgian Marcel Nicolet, Belgium inaugurated the King Baudouin Station. Adrien de Gerlache's son Gaston led the expedition to the station and began constant monitoring of the Antarctic. The White Continent was already synonymous with commitment to the future. As his father did before him, Gaston de Gerlache wintered at the station with a 17-member team. Altogether, the King Baudouin Station was operational for 10 years. Belgium contributed to a network of 55 research stations in Antarctica with 12 other countries. This won it the right to sign the historic Antarctic Treaty of Washington in 1959, which, in the middle of the Cold War, states that all Antarctica is dedicated to scientific knowledge, peace, and mankind. In 1967, the King Baudouin Station had to close. Belgians continued their research in cooperation with other countries. This cooperation was vital for the maintenance of Belgian expertise and was made possible by generous invitations from other Antarctic programs. In 1985, the Belgian Federal Science Authority created an Antarctic research program. Since then, it has supported a small but internationally recognized scientific community in areas as diverse as glaciology, oceanography, marine biology, climatology, biodiversity, ecology, geology, and data management. This Belgian expertise led the country to contribute to the negotiation of the Protocol on Environmental Protection to the Antarctic Treaty signed in Madrid that designated Antarctica as a natural reserve devoted to peace and science. In 2004, the Belgian government decided to build the first zero-emissions research station in Antarctica, the Princess Elizabeth Station. An anchor point that confirmed Belgium's commitment to the White Continent and its role as a signatory to the Antarctic Treaty. This station gave scientists access to an unexplored region. In addition, Belgium was able to extend hospitality to the international community by hosting researchers from all over the world. The station was assembled in 2008 and was immediately put into service. It uses only renewable energy and recycles all its waste. The Princess Elizabeth Station also respects the principles of green construction. Since 2009, international research teams have followed one another during the summer months. Automatic measuring devices that collect data for the fields of meteorology, geophysics, and environmental sampling have been installed. In the future, the Antarctic Research Program will continue to play its part in international collaboration as a cornerstone of the Antarctic Treaty, as well as advancing knowledge to improve the protection of the terrestrial and marine environment in the interests of all citizens of the world. Belgium will continue to actively engage in Antarctic research in all its dimensions in relation to global environmental change and the optimization of Antarctic environmental protection as laid down in the 50th Jubilee Declaration. In this way, the results and impacts of Belgian research benefit everyone. Belgium is proud to welcome you for the third time to the Antarctic Treaty Consultative Meeting. Right in the heart of Europe, a vast mix of organizations and associations have established themselves in Brussels, helping to create this multicultural melting pot. Brussels is home to hundreds of international headquarters of scientific organizations and corporations, and the city's cultural, historic, and architectural heritage is truly unique. You will be welcomed at the Palais d'Egmont, a historic green space in the ancient part of the city of Brussels. With older parts of the building dating back to the 18th century, the Palais d'Egmont was always the center of Brussels' diplomatic activities, and famous figures such as King Louis XV, Tsar Peter the Great, Queen Christina and Voltaire all stayed here. The palace stands close to the Egmont Park, 1.5 hectares of green land in the heart of the historic center of Brussels.